What do you need to look out for when you're buying a home here in Arizona? Hey, what's up guys? Shant Janessian here. Thanks for checking out this video today. I really appreciate it. Today we're gonna talk about 8 things that you need to look out for when buying a home here in Arizona. Before we do, I would really appreciate if you guys would like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna have more videos, real estate related videos for you guys. And if you guys have any topics you want me to hit, just comment below and I would love to touch on that topic for you. So, I get a lot of I work with a lot of clients. I'm a real estate agent here in Arizona, and I work with a lot of clients from out of state. They come out here, they're from California, Illinois, the East Coast, and they're always like looking out for different things that would come up in a house, like radon testing. They're like, oh, we need to test for radon, or oh my God, if there's termites, it's crazy, or they're worrying about different things that don't really aren't really issues here in Arizona. So I wanted to make this video to talk about 8 things. Obviously, there's more. I can make a list of 100 things you need to know about, but I'm gonna condense it to 8, right? Just so you guys could actually watch the full thing. Let's start with number 1. Let's start with termites. So there is the old saying here. I haven't been here that long, but I hear this all the time, where every house will either get or has termites. So I know if you come from a different state and if you see a house with termites, you are running for the hills. But here it's really not a big deal unless it's like a crazy infestation. The type of termites we get here are usually the subterranean termites. So you could kind of do your own research on that. But like I said, when you're buying a home here, you get a general home inspection and then you get included a termite inspection. They'll check for termites. Usually if they see the termites are active, it costs a couple $100 to remedy it. I know in some states you gotta like tent the whole house. It's a whole big expense. Here it's not, it costs $400 or $500. Usually the person who's selling it will take care of it. So it's really not a big deal. Like I said, unless there's some crazy infestation, which could lead to a big deal, but most often it's not really a big deal here. Number 2, scorpions, snakes, spiders, wildlife. Yes, in Arizona, you do see scorpions, snakes, spiders, wildlife, mountain lions, javelinas, and this all depends where you live, right? Me, knock on wood, I have yet to see any of these wildlife unless I'm hiking in the mountains somewhere. So whenever you're moving out here, look at the area you're living in. There is, for wildlife, if you're closer to a mountain, if you're at the bottom of the mountain or on the mountain or in more of a deserted area, yes, you're gonna see some wildlife. You're gonna see snakes, spiders, and scorpions. But you can see the scorpions kind of anywhere. There's kind of like a saying where if you are near a new construction community, you'll end up seeing more scorpions. I don't know if it's true because they are digging up the ground, and now if there were scorpions there, they're running away and they go to other places. I have also heard scorpions like palm trees. I have 10 palm trees in my backyard. So I haven't seen any yet. I haven't been looking for them, and I hope it stays that way. But one thing you guys could do is get a pest control. I get sprayed for, I think, once a month or once every 2 months. I have a pest control company that comes and sprays my house, and it seems to be working. So I try to, I don't want to see scorpions. All right, let's get away from just messed up, like wildlife, termites, stuff like that. Let's go to number 3. Number 3, the direction of your home. Now, I didn't realize this was a big deal till I moved here, but the direction of the home is a big deal, right? People tend to like north-south exposure. Now, it could all change depending on like where you are, you want views, stuff like that, but typically you want north and south exposure because the sun here is brutal and it's pretty hot, and what happens is it rises in the east, sets to the west. So the sun so if your house is right here, the sun is just going over. But if your house is east and west facing, you're getting direct sunlight into your home. the sun is beating onto your home, and usually the windows are going to be in the front and back of your house. So the sun is just coming in, which would kind of mess with your, electric bill. You're going to have to turn the AC on more. So it's not a huge thing, but people tend to prefer, north-south facing homes. Number 4, is the home a brick home or is it wood? Now, most newer homes that are being built here are going to be wood, but the older kind of Central Phoenix, South Scottsdale, Tempe, some parts of just the older neighborhoods, you will see brick homes. And I have a brick home. And my dad has a wood built home, and you could tell the difference. Like my house, my garage is a little bit cooler than his garage, right? So my garage, obviously there's no ventilation, no AC, no whatever. So that's like the good test, right? And my dad's same thing. So my house is built, is a brick built home, and the brick tends to keep the house cooler, right? So my garage will be like 90 degrees in the summer, 95 degrees, and my dad's will be like 105, 110. So it's like a 10-degree difference, but with that brick. So the brick tends to keep the house cooler. Now, yes, that kind of sucks in the winter, but winter's not that long here. My house is usually cold in the winters compared to my parents' house because the brick likes to keep the cold in. But I'm not complaining. I'd rather deal with that than the summer. So if you're looking for that, go with a brick home. But if they're hard to find, is if you're going to live in some communities like HOA communities and stuff like that, newer communities, you're not going to find a brick home probably. So just something to think about. Number 5. So we have typically on average, we have 2 different types of roofing. We have the shingle roofs and tile roofs. I never seen, not that in the East Coast, we usually had the asphalt shingle roofing, right? Out here, there's a lot of homes with tile roofs, and there's pros and cons to both. The tile roofs last longer, right? They are more durable. They're more low maintenance, but they cost more, right? They cost more. They last about 20 to 30 years, right? And the tile roofs, basically, it's not the tile that protects your roof, it's the underlayment below it. The tiles could crack, so if you're going on the roof or something, I'm not hanging out on my roof, but if you're walking on your roof to try to do something, tile roofs will crack, right? But it's not a big deal, right? You just gotta glue them back together or whatever. But the main component of a tile roof is the underlayment. So you just the tile kind of protects that underlayment. So that's the pros of the tile roof. The shingle roof, it's cheaper, lasts like 10 to 15 years. But, we get a lot of rain. Not a lot of rain. We get times where we get heavy rain and heavy wind. In shingle roofs, the wind could blow some of the shingles and stuff like that's happened to my roof. Tile roof is a little bit more sturdier in those weather conditions. We have monsoon season here. They call it we get a lot of haboobs. I don't know. And we get sandstorms, right? So there's wind always being blown. So tile roofs are better, but they cost more and they're more to maintain probably. Placement of your AC unit, your air conditioning unit. Now, I didn't realize this, so I lived in South Scottsdale and I live in Tempe. Most of the AC units are on the roof. Normal thing. I've never seen that before I moved here. But now if you go to newer communities, newer homes being built, they're putting the AC unit at the side of the house on the ground, not on the roof. Now, why this is better is, like I said, we get a lot of wind, dust storms, rain, all these kind of weather conditions. The sun is just beaming on your AC unit. So if it's on the roof, there's chances are that it's not going to last as long as an AC unit that is on the ground, kind of protected from the weather conditions. So, something to look out for. It's not a deal. None of these are like, oh my God, deal breakers, but something to look out for and be conscious of it. Number 7, is the home in an HOA or not? Honestly, before I moved here in Jersey, I've never heard of HOAs. They're not common, unless you're in like a condo, a townhome. But for single family homes, never really saw HOA communities. But out here, they're a lot of HOAs. And there's a love-hate relationship out here. I think I've done a video on pros and cons of HOAs, and there's pros and there's definite cons. But just be careful. If you're anti-HOA, you're going to be living in the more older neighborhoods. The newer neighborhoods that are being built are mostly in HOA communities. So just keep an eye out. And if you want more information, kind of Google what is an HOA and it'll kind of break you down. Last but not least, number 8, the water. Now, this is not a deal breaker or anything like that, but our tap water sucks here. It's not good. A lot of calcium in it. You cannot drink it. In Jersey, we used to drink our tap water. In New York, not a big deal. California too, you can just drink your tap water. Here, you cannot. It is not good. And what happens is when you're doing dishes, when you're in, washing your hands in the sink, you see a lot of calcium buildup all around your sink. So how you could kind of get away from that is having a water softener. I have one. So that kind of helps with the calcium buildup and just makes the water a little bit more cleaner. So if the house has a water softener, it's a plus. They're not super, super expensive, but if the house is an older house like mine was, and there's no water softener loop, you need a water loop because the water comes from the main line, it needs to go through the water softener and back into your house. So that costs money. Costs a couple of grand to get that done. But if your house comes with a loop, most new homes are built with a loop. Just a good thing to add. It's not a deal breaker. Like I said, none of these are deal breakers, but just things you should know when you're gonna move out here and buy a house. So water softener is good. Reverse osmosis systems, you could also attach that where you could use that as a drinking water. I'm still not a fan of that. I've been to people's houses where they have the reverse osmosis. Sorry if you're listening. I'm still not a fan of that water. I go get my water. I have a water, those water machines, go fill up my gallons of water. That's how I use my drinking water. My dad buys tons of just water bottles from Costco, and that's what he has in the house. It's just something to think about. These are some kind of things you should know when you're moving here. There's definitely tons more you should know. But these are kind of the top 8 that came to my mind, that kind of stuff that I deal with in the house that I've been selling. So if you have any questions or any more concerns that you want to go through, let me know, hit me up, comment, message me. I'll be more than happy to help. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.